Need to go live now because Hilo just got kind of close to destroying the Razor Crest,
Oh.
which is still sitting on the floor over there. I need to build the acrylic stand for it, but Hilo picked up his Kong that we put treats in sometimes,
Hilo.
and then he just like throws it around. But he almost threw it right on the Razor Crest. What are you doing?
You just lay down, buddy.
What are you doing, huh? Molly thought he would calm down because she gave him some ham, and
No,
it only made him more powerful.
No, I didn't give him ham. I was eating ham, and then I gave him a dog TREAT.
Oh, I thought you said, okay.
Maybe now he's mad that I didn't give him ham.
Yeah. You only riled him up.
It's the holidays. Ouch, 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 ouch. What's up, everybody?
He was so excited for Thanksgiving.
Oh, he's gonna get so much turkey.
We're continuing our build of the Venator. We're starting to work on the towers, the bridges, which it should actually start to take some shape. So I'm happy about that.
Yeah, it still looks kind of like a toy sword for now.
I have to get it out of that mode so you stop swinging it around.
603rd Regiment at attention. I like to hear that.
Now we're going to have to get patches or something.
Oh.
A logo made.
That's actually a good idea. All right, Hilo, are you going to lay down? Maybe. His tail. Yeah, I'm already like in holiday mode, but I'm also just really tired from my workout earlier today.
I'm Molly. I worked out. Humble brag.
Yeah. It's not humble. That's just a brag. Hilo. What's he trying to get?
I don't know, something on my desk.
Yeah, I had to do a really hard leg day so that the more I eat tomorrow, the better it helps my muscles grow. That's how that works. But yeah, I was unsure of how many of you guys would show because I was like, we normally do these on Thursdays, but we're doing it obviously a day early because of Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to everyone who celebrates.
Yeah. But I did put in the tweet that I'm sure we'll talk about the Filoni news. We just got done filming the Q&A, so we've already talked about it a little bit. I'm sure it'll come up. Oh, hi, Boomstick.
Oh, what up, Boom?
We should say Monday
Uh-huh.
next week, we're going to be on Slam Sector
That's right.
playing Shatterpoint.
I started a video today to learn how to play that. But for those of you
smart. I should do that too.
who don't know, Slam Sector is run by our friends Boomstick, who's in the chat. They usually do Warhammer streams, but Boomstick got Star Wars Shatterpoint, is painting the minis and everything. So we're going to go and we're going to play a game. I've never played it before. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited to try it, but the gameplay looks interesting.
He says Shatterpoint has a ton of depth. Oh boy.
Yeah, oh boy, indeed. But if you're not subscribed to Slam Sector, go do that so
Yeah.
you can watch it on Monday. We'll remind people before then. But they're also close to 1,000 subs, and we're trying to get them over there. Get them over that threshold.
Let me get the link and put it in the chat.
But yeah, as long as I like get a grasp on the basics of how to play, I'm not worried. I don't mind losing.
Yeah, I haven't even looked into the game at all, so I should probably do that.
We'll watch a video together. when we're in our turkey coma, we can just sit and watch a 2-hour stream of someone playing.
Sounds lovely. What'd you bring me? Oh, a sock.
That's my sock. Well, no.
Hilo's just in one of those moods. Can you lay down? He's like, I don't wanna. It's been really chilly today, so like we took him on a pretty short walk. Also, there's hardly any room in here for him to lay down.
I don't know if Boomstick's dogs will be out while we stream, but there's a chance to see a puppy on the stream too. I'll just throw that out there.
They might not let the dogs around all the expensive filming equipment. All right, let's get into some super chats here. First one's from Eloasti. Why does Jabba allow Han to step on his tail? Han owes him money, and Jabba is just letting him push him around. I don't know that he let him do that.
I mean, he kind of does. He doesn't rebuke Han.
It was such a stupid edit.
It's one of those things where that's just, it had to happen, I guess, because Lucas was like adamant that this scene was going to go back in, even though it doesn't really make sense for it to be in at all, because when they originally cut it, they put all of the relevant dialogue into the Greedo scene. So that's why like lines are straight up repeated. Mm-hmm. You get all the information you need from Greedo, and then Han goes and he has the exact same conversation with Jabba. And then because he passed behind the Scottish actor, I think that originally played Jabba, they're like, well...
They edited him to just like, boop, go up a little bit and make it look like he was stepping on him. That's so weird.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, I mean, Lucas didn't care. Lucas wasn't like... I'm sure he thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of is. I do like Jabba's like... Rah!
Yeah, his face, and he's like, ugh. It's like... when someone steps on your heel that's walking behind you, it's just kind of like something that happens that throws you off for a minute. But yeah, that's a good point though. Like, surprised Jabba didn't just have him killed right then and there.
I mean, Jabba had like some affection for Han. You know, he calls him Han Mibuki. So I don't think he necessarily wanted to freeze Han until he took another 3 years to pay him back.
That's true.
At that point, he was on thin ice with him, but he was still like, Han, my boy, come on.
Come on, buddy.
He probably thought Han still had potential to rise through the ranks.
He probably knows to not make an enemy of Han because he would be a real thorn in his side, more so than he is already.
He's like, that boy's annoying.
Darth Patty has the next super chat. Thank you. Off topic, did you guys go see Beyonce's show? We did not, sadly. It did come to Atlanta, but the tickets were crazy expensive. But I know a couple of people who did go.
We had a friend who flew to LA to see
her
Beyonce, or the LA show.
Yeah. She had, I think, friends over there that were going to go, so she chose to go to that show. But I heard it was really good, and I've seen a bunch of TikTok videos of some of the dances, and her daughter being up there dancing with her was really cute.
Oh, that's cool.
Qui-Gon Jinn, thanks for the next one. Have y'all seen Charlie Hopkins deepfake Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn reactions?
I've seen TikToks of them.
Obi gives Anakin drugged ham to suppress his dark side. Tendencies?
Yeah.
It just like trails off at the end. Oh, I see it. Okay. Yeah, just dark side tendencies. So wait, Obi-Wan drugs Anakin. That's actually really smart.
I haven't seen that. I've just seen, I think it's the same videos, but on TikTok, I've seen them like watching the movies or something, but they're all like in bathrobes, just chilling on the couch, and then they deep fake Ewan and Liam Neeson and Hayden's faces onto each other.
I don't love deep fakes. They just aren't entertaining to me. Hi, bud.
I'm like, it honestly would be just as entertaining if it was just them doing the impressions, because it's still their voices. Like, whoever's doing the acting has a great impression of them already. I'm like, you can just pretend to be Obi-Wan.
True. Boy, he's in a special mood today. I'm sorry we didn't play with you more, buddy. He is such an attention hog. I swear. All right, I did the last one, the Yoda speak, so it's your turn.
Is it leftist again?
Yeah.
No, I've done a lot of leftist Yoda voices. It's your turn again.
Okay, fine. The next super chat from Leftist Hominid and is asking that I do the Yoda speak. Wait, let me read it first.
Yeah, you got to prepare. Know what's coming. It's key.
That Max Rebo was a joke and not a badass, Alex believes. Molly, agree or disagree, do you? An awesome badass, Max Rebo was.
What?
I don't get that joke.
They asked on a Q&A a while ago how much of a badass I thought, or no, what characters were more badass than Max Rebo, and I said, everyone? Like, Max Rebo's defining quality is not that he is a badass.
Sure. That one was not as good as my last Yoda voice. It's harder to do the Yoda voice when you're reading something you've never read before instead of just like
just talking,
saying something that you're thinking about already. Yeah, I think Max Rebo might. Okay, so he might want to sound like a badass, especially if you've heard his voice.
There is that
in the Lego game and in the audiobooks, but he's a teddy bear at heart.
I love Max Rebo, but I don't think he's a badass.
Ooh. Oh, thanks everybody. Maybe my Yoda's better than yours.
Maybe it is. We'll have to have a Yoda off one time.
Oh gosh.
Just us going back and forth. That's pretty good.
I just like Yoda's laugh. This crazy old man laugh.
You love kooky Yoda.
Kooky Yoda is best Yoda. Except baby. Scotty Heron, thanks for the next super chat. Just finished Eye of Darkness. Loved it. Listened to the whole thing as I drove home over 2 days. My favorite character story thread was Porter's. Without spoilers, who was your favorite character arc? So I just got... I think I've only read one Porter chapter so far. I'm only like 100 pages in. But I'm liking it so far. I've only hit like 1 or 2 Avar stories. But I've been excited to read her again.
I think I'm torn between Porter and Avar. I really liked the position that they were in that story. I also really liked the reporter's storyline. I can't remember her name, but she was in The Rising Storm. But yeah, she had a cool plot line. Basically anything behind the storm wall I thought was rad.
Ooh, that would be a good title for a book.
Behind the storm wall, it's all rad.
Huh?
Everything's rad behind the storm wall.
Just behind the storm wall. That's going to be Markion's memoir.
Yeah.
which I would absolutely read. But I am excited to continue reading that book. It's definitely keeping my attention better than any of the Phase 2 stuff. And I'm excited to read more Porter.
I would agree with you. I enjoyed it more than the Phase 2 stuff as well, but that's just because I love those characters, and but the Phase 2 stuff I think enriched already what happened in Eye of Darkness.
I saw something pop up and I was going to read it. Oh, Charlie the Unicorn asked if we played the new Spider-Man game and our thoughts. I didn't play it, but he played it.
I 100%ed it, so my thoughts are that it rocked. I really, really liked it. I loved the first game. I loved Miles Morales. Not expansion. I don't know what to call that when it's like not a full game, just a continuation, whatever. But this game was also great. It wasn't quite DLC. It was like another full story.
Minigame?
I don't know what you call those, but the Miles Morales game was good. But yeah, I think I have 100%ed all of the Spider-Man games on PlayStation.
Expansion.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. I liked watching him play some of it. I'm like really hit or miss when it comes to video games, so I gotta find something really easy that doesn't take up too much of my attention.
You were saying you're in the mood to play a game, so we gotta find something. We started Super Mario Wonder. We do need to keep going with that.
Yeah, I would play more of that. It's just
because I want to play it.
It was like not what I was expecting, I guess, and I was kind of like overwhelmed when we all turned into elephants. I was like, what's going on? It was also pretty late, so I was like, yeah, I don't know.
We did start it too late, but I would like to keep going with that. Trying to think if I had... I don't know. I think the Spider-Man games do a really great job at telling a story that you already kind of know what's going to happen. Like if you know some base Spider-Man lore and you see the symbiote show up, you're like, okay, I know where this is headed. Or like in the first game, it took place before Doc Ock became Doc Ock.
Oh, yeah.
And they just made him so endearing. Like his relationship with Peter was so good, so that when he finally fell, it made it that much worse. And Spider-Man 2 did a lot of that very well. So, yeah, it's set up for a third game, and I'm excited about that too.
Seems like it's doing well for them.
It's just the swinging through the city is so fun. Like doing that alone, that's why I 100% it, is because I'm like, oh, I'll just go collect things, just swing around and...
Yeah. It looks really impressive, and I guess it feels that way too, because you can't really mess it up.
You can turn on fall damage.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah.
Why would you?
I know, right?
Okay, let's see. In the Halls of Traitors asks, do we play Star Wars The Old Republic?
The Old Republic.
The Old Republic. The Old Republic.
That is probably my biggest Star Wars blind spot. I have never played the MMO. I've never played any MMO, really. So, no, unfortunately. I need to dive into it at some point. But that's... I don't know nearly as much lore about the MMO or anything. I've played KOTOR and KOTOR 2, but just not like all of the Malgus stuff. And I've heard like Alexander Freed wrote some of the storylines in that game, which that's a selling point for me because I love his writing.
Yeah. I've never played it. If Alex hasn't, chances are I have not either.
That'd be a fun game to try to find a video game that you've played. Spyro. I've never played a Spyro all the way through.
Yeah. I was pretty obsessed with the first Spyro game. And that might be like one of the few games that I played all the way through. Mostly because I had a friend who would play it with me. Left to my own devices, I would never finish a video game. I would just play it until I got frustrated and then turn it off. That says a lot about how I live my life. Anyways.
I mean, and I'm the opposite, where I'm like, if I start something, I'm going to finish it, even if I'm not super enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. JLong8986, thank you for the next super chat. Why could Vader sense the Force in Luke from his TIE fighter, but not in Leia standing right behind her in A New Hope? I really enjoy your content.
Thank you. That's a good question. Got to add that. We're working on a video where we're going to answer like the most frequently asked questions in all of the movies. So right now we're collecting questions about A New Hope. That's a good one because I've definitely heard it a lot before. I would say that Leia wasn't actively using the Force in that moment, whereas Luke was. Mm-hmm. So Vader probably sensed that. I mean, the behind the scenes answer is that Leia was not a Skywalker at that point in the story in the creative process, but I would chalk it up to that she just didn't use the Force. She had mostly been actively like repressing it, because Bail Organa in some stories is like, we got to keep her far away from the Force so no one finds her. Yeah,
she doesn't actively use it and like train with it until later.
Until
like after
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. I mean,
there are points where she used
tapped into it to choke Jabba, allegedly. But
that and like Leia, Princess of Alderaan, there are times where she definitely used the Force, but she wasn't on the Death Star. So Vader just didn't sense it.
Also, at that time, Vader was like, I'm the coolest bad guy ever, and he wasn't about to let a girl show him up. So he probably was just like, there's no way. I'm not even going to bother.
He also might not have sensed the Force. Like, it's probably kind of a chaotic feeling in the Force when millions of people on a planet die.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, even if she did tap into the Force in that moment, he might not have sensed it or known it was her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm just making stuff up.
Yeah, I mean, there's little ways to kind of work around it, but the real answer is that we don't really know for sure. Yeah, Vader effed up. He just... simple, period.
Vader done goofed. What a goofer.
What a goofer. And Bill Devers, thank you so much for the very generous super chat. Happy Thanksgiving. What Star Wars animal would taste the most like turkey? Who would you argue with at the dinner table? What Padme/Leia look would Molly wear to dinner? Y'all are the best.
Wow.
Thank you.
It's a lot of good questions.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Okay, so what animal...
I want to know what look you're going to go with.
Oh. You know what? I would go with Leia's indoor look. That one looks the comfiest, like stretchy pants wise. We all need stretchy pants.
That's what I figured you'd go for.
Leia's indoor look, and plus it's mostly brown, so if I spill gravy on myself,
that's just camouflage.
Yeah, I'd go for that. I mean, it'd be really fun to wear any of Padme's looks, but I'll be honest, on Thanksgiving, I'm not really dressing up. I'm wearing stretchy pants, and I'm probably spilling stuff on me, so...
If you got, like, one of, like, the big red dress from Phantom Menace, that has a lot of space to expand underneath.
True. It's expandable.
So I'll wear that, and you can wear Leia's indoor outfit.
Okay. Yeah, and also, Padme's outfits usually served multiple purposes. and probably have a bunch of like extra compartments that you can like hide leftovers
food into.
and be like, oh, I want those last 5 deviled eggs, but I'm not going to eat them all right now, so I'm just going to put them in my extra pocket over here.
Pocket eggs.
Pocket deviled eggs. Ew.
I mean, I love deviled eggs, but I don't think even I would go for that.
What animal would taste the most like turkey? I mean, a couple people are saying porg.
The Nuna is what they usually go with in Star Wars as like the chicken, turkey, poultry substitute. Because they used it in the Clone Wars for sure. They used it in the Book of Boba Fett.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where my head went to. Porg is another obvious choice, but that seems more like chicken to me. Nuna's bigger, so...
Yeah, porgs are like pheasants. They're real small. I like Nuna. Who would you argue with at the dinner table? Most definitely Han, about just about anything, probably.
I was going to go with Perrin.
Ugh, he's not invited. No way.
If he's... Okay, so they have to be invited first, and then you're still going to argue with them?
Yeah. Someone that you want there, but you know eventually it'll
You're
lead
still
to an
gonna fight.
argument.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we have those friends. I do think, yeah, Han's a good answer. Han reminds me of our friend Matt, who, like, I just like to...
He's always making deals.
He's always making deals. He always just says things that I'm like, hold on.
Yeah.
Like, say what you said again.
We hear him talking about the Kessel Run and however many parsecs, and we're like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Hold on. That's not what happened.
Matt, parsecs, that's not a unit of time, buddy.
Boomstick says, lol, Matt.
Matt is also on Slam Sector.
Yeah, you want to see him in action, go watch Slam Sector. And then come back and let us know if you would also argue with him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 3PO is another good one. Dino Park Dan says, me and 3PO would be throwing hands.
I think I'd get along with 3PO pretty well.
3PO would be trying to tell me how many calories I've had so far that day, and I would be like, you can see yourself out, mister.
That's true. He is all about etiquette and would probably talk about our manners and stuff and what we were doing wrong when all I want to do is stuff my face.
I would stuff a turkey leg in his mouth hole and then leave.
Just clog it up with
Boba, Vader.
I mean, I wouldn't want Vader at my dinner to begin with.
Yeah. I mean, all the bad guys. We actually do talk about a question similar to this in the Q&A, so we've already kind of explored this and talked about some of the worst people to have around.
It's basically, who would you not invite? And I mean, like, all the villains are a given. Obviously, you don't want Jabba there. So then we were trying to think of, like, who's a hero that you wouldn't want around?
Oh, Tarkin is a good one. We didn't think about Tarkin.
He's a villain.
But he's not a Sith Lord.
Yeah,
at
but
least.
still, like, that's a given. Although, like, his scene in Leia of Princess of Alderaan at the dinner table with, like, Mon Mothma and Bail Organa and Leia, great scene. That book's so good.
Tarkin, Tarkin would ask for just a bowl of unseasoned boiled Brussels sprouts. He would eat a couple and be like, oh, I'm stuffed.
He does seem the type.
What a weirdo. He's got to watch his figure if he wants to fit in those
tailored pants.
Silly pants. So, okay, what other outfits are you wearing?
Do I still have to choose? But I mean, I said Padme's big red dress, but if I need to pick,
is there like a Luke or Han outfit that you would wear? TJA94 says, I wouldn't want Chewie because he'd eat everything.
Oh,
Well,
he
but-
deserves it.
Yeah, he deserves all the food here. He would be fun to have, though.
Might go with Luke's Tatooine look. Because it's just very loose fitting.
Yeah, he's got that, like, the big roomy shirt that's kind of tucked in, but it's got plenty of stretch.
I'd go with his Tatooine Power of the Force action figure look, where he's
He's just
He-Man.
ripped.
Yeah, they just used a He-Man mold.
I mean, yeah, if we're picking the exact
the exact look.
the exact body type, I want to be buff Leia too. Just walk into dinner and start
I'm here to bulk.
inhaling all the turkey. Ooh, Grief Karga's robes
Oh, that's a good one.
from season 3 of Mando.
Sure,
MC
yeah.
Lego Boy says that one.
I would love to have his little cape
The
droids.
cape droids. You know he's getting flack about those cape droids from one of the family members.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, oh,
Like, really?
so he comes into a little bit of money. He's in charge of a city, and look at him now.
That's one of my favorite goofy Star Wars things, when you just see a random droid who's it's that Rick and Morty thing where it's like, what is my purpose? You serve butter. Oh my god. Like, what do I do? You hold my cape. That's it. Like, oh no. Or there's stare droid in Andor that, like, all it does is
Your
act as
purpose
stairs.
is to be stepped on. But better to have a purpose than no purpose at all.
I guess.
Are there any droids that like don't really have a specific purpose?
I might argue L3. Like, she made her own
She might have
purpose.
the most important purpose.
Like, she chose her purpose.
Yeah.
She designed herself.
To be
she-
free.
Yeah, and then
Essentially.
she chose what she wanted until she was shoved into the Falcon. But
That's a good answer.
up until that point, she was like, I do what I want.
Did Padme ever wear stretch maternity pants? I'm sure she did. Everything she wore was like real flowy, had plenty of room. Because also she had to kind of hide that bump. Dan Ben asks if we're going to be watching the documentary releasing in early December on the Star Wars Holiday Special. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
What's it called?
Disturbance in the Force.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I just watched the holiday special like a week or two ago. For my yearly, I'm like, I guess I should do a video about the holiday special around Christmas. So
I am excited for that.
I do think every time I watch it, I like it a little bit more, which is probably just
Oh.
it's probably just Stockholm syndrome of, like, I have to be held captive by this thing for an hour and a half. I did watch it on fast forward this year.
I can't say the same. Well, I haven't really watched it in its entirety that many times because I can't. It's like,
It's pretty painful.
it's so long and there's so many parts that are just kind of agonizing to watch. But yeah.
It's one of those things where you're like, surely this is almost over, and then you check the runtime and you're like, how is there still half an hour left?
Queersland Australia, thanks for the next super chat. I want to experience the High Republic with just for now audiobooks. Which ones do I listen to and in what order? I think just about every time we get asked this question, we kind of say the same answer, but I would start with Light of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to the 3 main first adult novels, so Light of the Jedi, Rising Storm, and Fallen Star. And then depending on which characters you want to like see and hear more about, you can explore some of the YA books. Like Midnight Horizon was a really fun read, and I listened to the audiobook and it was really good.
I do remember, I didn't listen to this one, but I think Out of the Shadows, I remember people saying that one wasn't as good as far as audiobooks go. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if they were just rushing up against the deadline, but it didn't have all the music and the sound effects and stuff.
Yeah. That was one that I remember. I specifically remember being on the treadmill and like starting that, and I was like, this one seems kind of off. I don't know what it is. And then I realized, oh, there's no music and there's no like voices for different characters. And so anyways, but yeah, even if you're not just listening to the audiobooks, I would still start with Light of the Jedi.
Yeah.
That's going to be your best introduction to everything that's going on.
Yep. I would do Light of the Jedi, Rising Storm, Fallen Star, and then you can just go to Convergence and Cataclysm, and then Eye of Darkness. Or if you decide you're like really super into this, you can add in the young adult or middle grade books.
You can listen to
do the middle grade books have?
Yeah, some of them do, I think. You can listen to the audio dramas too. Like, there's Tempest Runner. Was that an audio drama?
Yes.
Okay, Tempest Runner and the Battle of Jed. No.
Yes.
Battle of Jeddah.
I would definitely read or listen to Battle of Jeddah.
Tempest Runner wasn't one that I read, but I did listen to. I did listen to Battle of Jeddah, even though it kind of lost my attention.
I felt like
I had trouble with that one.
Tempest Runner was skippable. Like, it's mostly giving backstory for one character, and a lot happens to them throughout the story, but they basically start and end in the same position. So it's like, okay, I learned a lot about her, but
we didn't get very far.
Yeah.
Ice, thanks for the next super chat. I think the repeated dialogue with Han and Jabba as a running gag when I watch A New Hope. I see. Okay, so they think the repeated dialogue is a running joke. Just how I reconcile it, because I do laugh at the scene.
Yeah.
I mean, Han is very much the type to just keep saying the same stuff and telling the same stories over and over while, slightly embellishing certain aspects, depending on who he's talking to.
I like the idea that, he just rehearsed what he was going to say to Jabba, and then Greedo showed up, and he's like, I guess I'll just say the same thing to him.
Where do the two audio dramas fit in? So
Tempest Runner is in between the Rising Storm and the Fallen Star.
So in between the main adult books 2 and 3.
Yes. And then Battle of Jeddah is in between the main books of Phase 2. So Convergence, Battle of Jeddah, and then Cataclysm.
Yeah.
But yeah, Battle of Jeddah was way more integral to the plot of Phase 2 than Tempest Runner was for Phase 1.
Mm-hmm. Ian Sharps, thanks for the next super chat. Favorite Thanksgiving side dish, and how much will Hilo steal? He's not going to steal any of it, but he'll probably get a lot of scraps.
He'll beg for sure, but he's not a thief. He's not a counter surfer. He's pretty good about that.
He did eat my banana once off the counter.
Oh yeah, and he had my turkey sandwich when I left it unattended once. So he has been known to steal, but if we're at the table,
he's not a super repeat offender.
we're talking about him. And he's
he
like,
got up and left.
well, I'm going to leave.
He's like, I'm gonna go steal something right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
I'll show you. Okay, favorite side dish. I just did a tier ranking video over on A Certain Point of View. We ranked side dishes for Thanksgiving, and we didn't make the tier list, so some of them were kind of weird. But I'm trying to think of what my favorite side dish is.
I really do love your broccoli casserole.
Yeah, that one.
And we pretty much only have it at Thanksgiving because it's so unhealthy. But, I mean, I don't want to say mashed potatoes is like just an all-time favorite side dish for any time. I do love it at Thanksgiving as well, but it's not something that I feel like I have to wait until Thanksgiving to enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it is broccoli casserole, which is like, it's something that people sometimes will hear that and be like, ugh, that sounds disgusting. And it's not really like a super common side dish. It's not like green bean casserole, which is like one that a lot of people have. But basically the broccoli casserole that I grew up having has like rice, cheese, and broccoli and butter and like a crumbly like
Ritz cracker
crust on top. So nothing about it is healthy, no matter how much broccoli you put in it. It's really, really good. I think you can get the recipe right off of the Cheese Whiz jar, in fact, because you got to use Cheese Whiz that comes in a jar. You can use real cheese, but it's not the same flavor.
I don't want to open up this can of worms again, but I will. I look forward to the noodles. No one else does, and that's okay. But I like it. I grew up with it, and I get excited about it every year.
Someone earlier said Laserbolt videos said Hilo is making mashed potatoes and noodles right now.
But that's like a once a year thing. And it's usually at Thanksgiving.
I am just, me personally, I'm interested to have the noodles in a different way. Like in a soup or just plain by themselves. Like
I don't know,
with kind of a sauce or something.
You know, I will say, like, the Indiana or Illinois, wherever it came from, the thing is noodles on mashed potatoes. I've never really super cared about that. I just like the noodles. So I would always just put a blob of noodles on my Thanksgiving dish and eat that.
They just don't really have much of a taste. But that's just what I think. What do I know?
Maybe it's the texture that I like. I mean,
it's mush.
Yeah. Love me some mush.
That's another thing. I would like to know how they tasted al dente and not mush.
Well, we can try to make them ourselves sometime.
I don't want to make noodles. Oh yeah, we could make them blue.
That's true.
Oh, okay. So when I say Cheese Whiz, because Ian Sharp said spray cheese in a can, I can't imagine it. Cheese Whiz makes cheese in a jar that's basically the same as Velveeta cheese. Velveeta comes in a block and you kind of melt it. But the Cheese Whiz I'm talking about comes in a jar and is like one solid, kind of a block of cheese, a little softer than a block. But it's not the kind that like comes out of the aerosol can or whatever.
I bet it's not far off, though.
It's not far off. No. You're right.
I don't mind. If it were out of the can, it wouldn't faze me a bit.
It would just be hard to get it all out because, like, we use a whole jar. That'd be probably 2 cans worth. I remember, we took Hilo to the vet? Were they giving him Cheese Whiz?
Yeah.
Just like spraying it on the table for him to lick while they were checking him out. I thought that was pretty smart. It's technically a goop. That's the best way to describe it, honestly. It's a goop of cheese. Fancy fake cheese-like product.
That term. It's cheese-like.
Cheese-like.
Cheese-ish.
I watched a video of a bunch of chefs rating and also trying to guess boxed mac and cheeses. And a lot of them said that when it comes to mac and cheese, like, they can make a fancy mac and cheese with real cheese, but like what they remember from childhood was Kraft mac and cheese that's like the neon yellow color.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were like, sometimes you just want that fake cheese taste.
Yep.
Yeah, cheese adjacent, says Boomstick. It's like, we thought about cheese, but that sounded like too much work. We'll just make our own. Captain Trox says, do you prefer the Lego droid or the droids from Galaxy's Edge that you can build?
I mean, they're pretty close to the same size, actually, now that I'm looking at our R2-D2. The Lego ones are just display pieces. Mm-hmm. So, you know, the Galaxy's Edge ones, you can move them around and stuff, but they're basically display pieces too. I haven't really done much with the ones we've built. So as far as like building it goes, I think building a Lego one is more fun. The Galaxy's Edge one was expensive. You couldn't customize it that much.
Yeah.
So I think I would go with Lego.
I mean, I like the droids from Galaxy's Edge, but after you build them, like, they just become display things. I guess unless you had kids that would actually play with them, but I've only used mine a couple times after we built them.
We had fun in Anaheim because we built them like at Celebration, and then we all like went out.
We had them fight to the death.
Yeah, we were bumping them together at Disneyland. That was fun. And then we had fun with them in the hotel room, like just rolling them around. Same thing, still just having them battle. But once we got home, it was like, well, I don't know what we're going to do with this anymore.
Jacob Fullerton asks, quick question. I boomed the gasser and crashed my boss's hay blibber. Any way I can remedy this?
Oh, I hate to say it, but you might be exiled. You might have to get out of there fast. Either that or become a Bombad general and regain your honor.
Hey, why not both? You can do it all. No matter how many hay blibbers you crash.
Jacob, I saw you all were streaming yesterday, like right as we were walking out the door, and the Star Boys were doing a Star Wars trivia thing, and I was like, damn it, can't.
We were on our way to Star Wars trivia that ended up not even being a thing.
Yeah. I would have rather watched your Star Wars trivia than go and not get to win our own.
We had to play stupid regular trivia, which we were still okay at, but I had to like get up and do a group thing with other people about music trivia, and I was like, this is not okay. I did not volunteer to meet strangers and do trivia with them. No. I hated it. Also, they were all really bad at it.
Well, the tacos we got were good.
The tacos were really good. But I did like that they had one whole category on Britney Spears, which I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do well at that. Although we still missed a couple. One of the last categories was hot sauces, which we did great at.
Oh yeah, we got all those.
We got all the hot sauce. It was like name 8 out of the top 10 hot sauces in America.
Easy.
Easy peasy. Andrew711, thanks for the next super chat. Good idea. Cooking Thanksgiving dinner with Force Lightning. Bad idea. Cooking Thanksgiving dinner with an ancient dark side artifact. Yeah, you might end up with everyone being possessed by some Sith, some old Sith.
I feel like the Force Lightning is also a good way to overcook something, though. I think you'd very quickly get into well done territory.
Yeah.
I mean, look what happened to Palpatine in a matter of seconds.
Turkey is already kind of dry in nature, no matter how you cook it, so...
You don't want a steak looking like Palpatine.
Although Force Lightning may give you that real crispy skin.
Maybe. I mean, again, that's what it did to Palpatine.
Was his skin crispy, though? Like, would
It
you
looked
peel it off
kinda-
and eat it?
It looked kind of
Ew.
like what skin adjacent.
Ew.
A skin-like product.
I feel like it just zapped all the collagen out of his skin, so it just all drooped down. Jacob says, we had to identify Star Wars music from small sections played, and I ID'd Padme's Reminiscence in a split second. You'd be good at that.
I love
I'd be
stuff
garbage
like
at that.
I'll have to go back and watch the replay.
Oh, Boomstick
I'm
says...
proud of you, Jacob, and I assume you won.
Boomstick says there's a little Tuca terrain piece he just built for Shatterpoint.
Aw.
It's cute. I'm going to end up just looking really closely at all the pieces and being like, I want to paint one of these.
Well, we can get our own expansions.
That's true.
You can paint away.
It would be cool to design your own clone trooper armor color scheme.
Yeah, that'd be neat. We'll make the 603rd.
I feel like we need to put a beer on our patch for the 603rd.
Kind of like Plo Koon has Plo's Bros. We can be the brew crew or something.
The brew crew. Plo's Bros is maybe one of the best named things in Star Wars. Ooh, Jacob says they just shot a bored as hell playing Star Wars Armada and is so
wow.
excited for how that's going to turn out. Did we
Nice.
ever play that one? I know someone
No.
has it because I've seen it at someone's house, but I don't think we've ever played it.
I've not played that. We've done lots of X-Wing, quite a bit of Imperial Assault.
Imperial Assault, that's what I
yeah,
was thinking
We've
of.
done Rebellion twice, I think, which I liked that. I think that's it as far as like serious Star Wars board games go. Trivial Pursuit and Star Wars Monopoly, I guess, don't count.
Which one is Star Wars Legion? Is that also a game with minis?
I don't remember.
Now
I've-
they're all kind of running together.
I've
in my
not
head.
played that one.
Oh, Legion is basically 40K, but Star Wars.
Okay. I thought that's
Good
what
game.
Shatterpoint was, but all right.
Yeah, me too. Good to know. We still have... What's that Clone Wars board game that I bought?
Oh yeah, Pandemic.
It's not called Pandemic, but it's basically a Star Wars Clone Wars version of Pandemic that we've never played.
I thought it was called Pandemic. I don't know.
I don't think so. I can't remember. Shatterpoint is much smaller scale, skirmish game, smaller battles.
All right. Well, we'll do this, and then maybe we'll try Legion later.
It's just the Pandemic system, says Andy.
Okay.
Scotty Heron, thanks for the next super chat. If you're hosting Thanksgiving and you've got Dexter Jetster, Grease, Porter Ingle, Torben Buck, Jabba's cooking droid, not Jabba, and one other Star Wars character to do the cooking. Who do you assign to cook what? Oh man.
Good call.
I think I get Dexter Jetster to do the turkey. He might be the most experienced cook out of all of them.
I was gonna give the
not
turkey
including
to,
the droid.
I was gonna give the turkey to Grease because he'll make sure it's plenty seasoned.
Oh yeah, he'll do a good brine. Just pour it salt all over it. The two of them can work together on the turkey.
Well, Dexter is known for his cake, so I was gonna let him do a pie, dessert, something. Was Porter on that list? Some kind of casserole. He seems to be into like the 6-egg stew or whatever, 9-egg. I can't remember how many eggs or what that dish was.
That's a lot of eggs for a stew. I don't think we've ever had eggs in a stew.
It was different kinds of eggs. I can't remember exactly what the dish was, but I think
6-egg stew or 9-egg stew is going to be my breakfast one of these days if I keep adding eggs to
I think he would make a good side dish. Jabba's cook droid. I mean, they can just like fill in whatever, I think.
I would give mashed potatoes to Jabba's cook droid.
Yeah,
then
something simple.
They could peel all the potatoes.
Oh, yeah.
And do all the hard work.
I was going to do one more.
Torben Buck.
I was going to do one more bag.
Okay.
Or do you want to start wrapping up? Because I know we got some Thanksgiving prep to do.
We do have some prep to do.
We can just chat for a minute then.
Yeah. Did you say one for Torben?
I think he's known for his pastries.
So maybe the biscuits or or rolls or something.
Some baked goods. This is starting to look like, I think that's going to go hereabouts. But we're starting to build the bridges and the towers and stuff.
Yeah, it's starting to look a little more like a ship.
I don't know where that's going to go exactly, but...
Are you guys more biscuit people or roll people? Or do you have bread at all? Like at the table for Thanksgiving, if you do Thanksgiving, or if not like any big meal. Because I grew up in the South and we always had biscuits, which make for great little slider sandwiches for the rest of the weekend. Rolls, a lot of people are saying rolls.
I think we were more roll people, but we were also the weirdos that had noodles, so what do I know?
Biscuits are a morning/brunch move for me. That's fair.
So I tend to agree, but I also would be fine without bread. Like, I've got enough side dishes filling my plate.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of that way too, like, because there's so much food at Thanksgiving. I try not to have any bread because that's just going to take up room in my stomach. It's more about as an appetizer and then as leftover sandwiches.
I do like having the biscuits for the rest of the week or so, because your mom makes great biscuits and then we just make those sandwiches.
Mm-hmm. Can we think of one more character that could be there to cook something?
Gormanda.
But as long as she doesn't make that nasty squid.
Bantha. She didn't make that.
Well, we made it as her.
That's true.
I don't want that. What is it that they make in this holiday special?
Bantha surprise.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, they thought of they were like, what's the one animal we know of in Star Wars? Banthas? Okay. Put surprise on it. That we named a Star Wars dish. It was like the least effort put into naming that. But yeah, I feel like Gormanda or Cookie. Strono Tugs.
Strono Cookie Tugs.
Honestly, like we've eaten his food at Docking Bay 77.
He's technically the author of
those cookbooks,
the Galaxy's Edge cookbooks.
But he says that he was inspired by Gormanda. So, but we have technically had his food at Galaxy's Edge and we liked it.
Yeah. I mean, having Gourmanda at Thanksgiving is like Martha Stewart showing
That's
up.
true.
Or any like really like any famous like Paul Hollywood coming to dinner is like,
my God.
oh my gosh.
We've made that joke before, haven't we? The great Coruscant Bake Off. It was Paul Coruscant, we said was the host or the judge.
Ooh,
But
we should do
That should be an April Fool's.
we should do a bake off video.
Gourmanda and Paul Coruscant,
Who would host that? We'd have to think of,
buckets of blood.
because they did a bake off in the High Republic, didn't they?
Yeah. So we'd need like Torben Buck, Cantum Sai, Yoda. He made some pastries too. I like that idea.
I guess she was kind of, was she made to be kind of like Julia Childs?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about her, so yeah, that's a good one. Well, we might make another cooking parody video.
I like that idea.
We could put a tent out in our backyard and bake something out there. That would be a lot of work. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for us today. Nice short little stream. We're going to go make dinner, and I'm going to figure out how many things I need to cook in the morning. Chop and cook and all that stuff.
That's not just you. I'm helping.
Alex will not help at all. No, I'm kidding. He will.
I help all the time.
But yeah, we're going to go chill, and hopefully all the Americans who are doing Thanksgiving enjoy your holiday. If not, enjoy your regular week and weekend. But we'll be back next week.
I think our Lego stream will be Wednesday again, and on Monday we'll be streaming over on Slam Sector.
Yeah, so yeah, Monday Slam Sector. We're going out of town next weekend, so yeah, we'll stream this on Wednesday again. But thanks for tuning in, everybody, and hanging out. We're gonna go make dinner. Bye.